So when people watch Titanic for the first time, they instantly think of Cal as the villain in the movie. But was he really? So the first time we see Cal is before he gets onto the Titanic. He gets there in his luxurious car, and he looks at the Titanic like, if this doesn't impress Rose, then nothing will. And then Rose hops out the car like, whatever, I'm not impressed by this. Now what this scene tells you right here is even before Cal and Rose got to the ship, Cal has been doing whatever it takes to impress her. He probably bought her fancy gifts, clothes, whatever she wanted, and Rose is probably going, yeah, not impressed. So then Rose's mom hops out the car and Cal helps her out. And even though that's a very small gesture, it proves that Cal is some sort of gentleman. Now before we get into what happens next, let's establish who Cal is. I mean, we all remember him as the guy that tried to control Rose, but what is his background, right? First of all, his full name is Cal Nathan Hockley. He's the heir to a steel fortune, he's rich, he's powerful, and he's used to getting everything he wants. In fact, in that scene where Cal gets out of the car to look at the Titanic, an official comes up to him and goes, "Yo, before you get into the ship, you need to come with me and check in your baggage." To which Cal goes, "Check in my baggage? What? Here's $5. Now go away."
"Hey, sir, I put my faith in you, good sir. Now kindly see my map."
"Oh, yes, sir."
And immediately the official goes away. And this tells you one thing. Because he's a rich and powerful man, he's used to getting whatever he wants by simply paying for it. Now, we never get the full backstory of Cal's life in this movie, but we do get some clues. He's the kind of guy raised in extreme privilege. He probably never had to lift a finger in his life, and he probably went to an elite school. So in one of the next scenes, we see Rose and Cal unpacking on the ship, or should I say Rose is unpacking with her helpers, and then Cal walks in the room like, "What is with you and those shitty paintings?" And then Rose says something like, "Well, the difference between you and I is that I've got taste and you don't."
The difference between Cal's taste in art and mine is that I have some.
And from this moment, you can actually tell what their dynamic is like. Cal doesn't really understand Rose's world, while Rose herself thinks Cal is kind of an idiot. And the thing is, one of the reasons why this scene was created was to make Cal look like a rich, pompous dumbass.
Something Picasso. He won't amount to a thing.
So in another scene, Rose, Cal, and a bunch of other rich people are sitting at a table talking about the Titanic, you know, rich people stuff. And that's when Rose decides to light her a cigarette. And immediately when this happened, Cal takes the cigarette out of her mouth, and she just stands there like, "Ugh, I can't believe you did that." And Cal is looking at her like, "Well, you better believe it, girl."
She knows.
Now, even though Rose was being rude, I mean, she was smoking at a table with her mom right there, blowing smoke in her mom's face, and smoking in front of rich company. The fact that Cal just took the cigarette out of her mouth instead of going, "Hey baby, do you mind putting that out?" It tells you that in this relationship, Cal has the final say, and Rose has to basically do whatever he wants. And as I said in the previous video, Cal is like 30 years old, while Rose is 17. So Cal's looking at this girl going, "Ugh, now I have to discipline this child again." Right? Because at this point in his life, Cal is a businessman. He's established, he's well taken care of, and he's used to being around other people his age. Whereas Rose, on the other hand, was probably just playing tag with her friends just a few weeks ago. And I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. Mentally, they're on two different levels. Now, in a later scene, we see Ruth literally telling Rose that Cal is the only thing preventing them from going broke.
Our situation is precarious.
So in his mind, Cal's probably thinking, "Look, I'm the only thing keeping you and your stone-faced mother out of poverty." So in his mind, I'm sure Cal believes that he's the hero of this story. And then enters Jack. Now when Jack enters the story, we immediately see the contrast between him and Cal. Right? Jack is from the 3rd level of the ship. His clothes look like he was wearing them for days.
I said you look shitty.
And when he saves Rose, he instantly becomes the hero of the movie. So now, in a sense, we have two heroes in this movie. In Cal's mind, he believes he's saving Rose and her mom from poverty, while Jack literally just saved Rose from drowning, even though she was probably not going to jump. But in Jack's mind, he's also a hero too. And the thing is, even though both of them are heroes at this point in their own ways, since their story is being told from Rose's perspective, it only matters who she believes is the hero. And in this point, that's Jack, the person she just met.
Mr. Dawson here saved me and almost went over himself.
So in another scene, Cal gives Rose the heart of the ocean, and in Cal's own way, this is him being a hero. He essentially says, "Look, Rose, I'll give you anything you want in the world. Anything. And I'll take care of you for life. All you have to do is love me.
Perhaps as a reminder of my feelings for you.
So what Cal is essentially saying is, I'll be your Superman. I'm going to rescue you and your mom from poverty. I'm going to give you the world, and the only thing you have to do is love me. That's the only thing. And Rose, even though she doesn't really appreciate Cal at this point, she's looking at the necklace thinking, damn, maybe I should just fall in love with this guy. And then like 2 seconds later, she's back to flirting with Jack. Now, even though Rose doesn't believe that Cal is some sort of hero and sees him as more of a tyrant, guess who doesn't see it that way? Rose's mom. Rose's mom has constantly said, look, Rose, if you don't marry this guy, I'm probably gonna have to get a job.
Do you want to see me working as a seamstress?
So Ruth, in a sense, sees Cal as the guy that's going to rescue her from poverty. And not just her daughter as well. So in another scene, and this is after that infamous dinner that I spoke about in a previous video, Rose decides to go down to the 3rd floor to party with Jack. Now in this scene, you can tell that Rose and Jack are just seconds away from getting it on. They have so much chemistry. And that's when Cal sends his bodyguard to go and check on Rose. The bodyguard gets there, he sees Rose flirting heavily with Jack. He reports that to Cal, and then we see Cal and Rose at breakfast, and that's when Cal loses his temper and just flips the table over. Now in this scene, Cal does not look like a hero at all. He essentially shouts at Rose and tells her, you better listen to me or else. And when Cal leaves, Rose is just sitting there like, oh no, I can't believe he did that. But if you're Cal and you're the hero in this story, in his mind he's probably thinking, look, I'm trying to save you from poverty, you and your mother. I'm giving you everything in the world, and this is how you repay me. Now you can probably say that this scene proves Cal is a villain in this story, but at the same time the man was simply hurt by his fiance's actions, and if he was really the villain, he would have done something more villainous in this scene. He probably would have slapped her right here. That's what I'm trying to say. Now Cal does slap Rose later on. He slaps her after he finds out that Rose slept with Jack. And I don't condone hitting anybody. That's physical assault. But if you were to put yourself in Cal's shoes, your fiancé just got taken by another man, and this is after you try to give her the world. Come on, you're gonna have a negative reaction.
And that makes you the queen of whores!
Was it right? No, it wasn't right at all. But if you've seen a couple of road rage videos, and if you've seen a couple of videos where a woman will try to burn a guy's house down after being cheated on, you start to realize that when people are in an angry state, they are not thinking rationally, and in their mind all they see is red, attack, attack, and that's because they feel like they're being attacked as well. And that's the thing, before this scene when Cal slaps Rose, it's never really implied that Cal slapped her before this. So when people say Cal was abusive, it looks like he only became this way after being pushed to his limits. Again, like I said, it's not right, but you have to understand. Now the thing is, after being treated like a doormat, after being disrespected by a 17-year-old, and after having her cheat on him publicly, Cal still wants to be with Rose. Now it could be that Cal only sees Rose as some sort of possession, because even when Cal and Jack get Rose on the lifeboat, Cal says something like, I always win, Jack. I always win.
I always win, Jack.
And lower away evenly, lads.
One way or another.
So it could be implied that Cal only wants to be with Rose because he doesn't want to lose to Jack, the guy from the 3rd level. But on the other hand, maybe Cal really loves Rose, because what kind of person is going to forgive anybody for cheating on them? That takes a lot of strength, and that's something I don't really have, hey? Once you cheat on me, you're out. So the fact that Cal was willing to forgive Rose, that says a lot about his personality, and in a way it proves that he truly wanted to be with her. So in another scene when the Titanic is sinking, Cal is going, okay, now how do I get off this ship? So he sees a kid just sitting there and goes, I got it. Since it's women and children first, I'm going to use this kid to get off the boat. And he does so. Cal then gets on the lifeboat, and inadvertently he saves this kid's life. Now, you could say that Cal was doing this for selfish reasons, and the only reason he did so is because he wanted to get off the Titanic. But now guess who else sees him as a hero? That little kid that got saved. I mean, if Cal didn't show up in that second and rescue that kid, he was probably going to drown with the ship. So that kid was probably thinking, damn, this guy's amazing. I owe him my life. And there's a popular saying that applies to everything I'm saying right now, and it goes, one man's hero is another man's villain. I mean, to us, yes, Cal was a villain. He mistreated Rose, he slapped her, and he believed that he was better than anybody who had less money than him. But to Rose's mom and that kid who just got saved, Cal is a hero, one worthy of all the praise. Now, towards the end of this movie, and nobody really talks about this enough, but Rose ends up saying that Cal went bankrupt somehow, he lost his entire fortune, and then he unalived himself.
And he put a pistol in his mouth that year.
And Rose says this so casually like it's nothing. And the funny thing is, do you know what could have saved Cal? That diamond necklace that Rose was holding on to. The one she didn't care about. The one she just threw into the ocean like it was nothing. Right? If Rose had found a way to somehow return that diamond to Cal, then Cal would have lived. But Rose was like, nah, I'm gonna hold on to this. I mean, he was such a jerk. So yes, from Rose's eyes, Cal is a villain. And that's probably because she found him controlling and she never wanted to marry him in the first place. But like I said earlier, to that kid who got saved and to Ruth, Cal is the hero of the story. So I guess the question is, which version of Cal do you see? The hero or the villain? That's it for the video. I'll see you in the next one.